What is that? Okay, good afternoon, folks. Can everybody hear me okay? It's all right, something in the picture looks different. Oh, I think it's fine. Okay. Good morning, all. I hope everyone's okay. Or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So, Armanas, how you doing? News, 25 minutes. Hopefully, market will start moving again. Yeah, we seem to have a bit of a consolidation period, didn't we? Jay, how you doing? It's dropped 20 points, back at 50 in the hour. Yeah. Yeah, I think once you have a good push up, we tend to go a bit sideways for a bit and then just sort of gather momentum and let things settle a bit, don't we? So, Indy, how you doing, bud? What's how you doing, brother? That was a good trap, Jay. Almost that one there. I took that one there. We had a leg down, second entry short, which triggered there. You could call that a lower high, which triggered. I put my order one tick above there. And off it went, and I got a quick 3 points out of it, so I was quite pleased with that. So, that's large moves without entries. Interesting. We're getting some markets obviously just opened, but I didn't see that coming straight back down. Strange, isn't it? Let's see what happens here. I did wonder whether there was any type of a bigger channel here. It's quite unusual that, because at the moment the NQ is going up and this is coming down, which is a bit odd. Thank you. What? That was a good trade. Yeah, I like that type of trade because we had a channel down. It was clear 2 legs back, really nice 2 legs back. It trapped there, then we got another trap, and when that came up there and came back down, I thought, I'm getting in here. I always like to get in at a safe place, and I come out about here. It was just around about the middle line, just after the middle line, something like that. But nice 3 points. We had a 1 leg up and a second leg up. I tend to try and go 2/3 of the way or something like that, but there was plenty enough space I had anyway. I did think it was going to go up there because we had a bit of a channel, and whether you call that an overshoot or not, but it just reversed then. So I'm going to say this type of trade, it just doesn't work at the moment. I mean, obviously it's likely we'll range in anyway because we've come more or less back to the same place. Let's have a look. Possible short trap here. Yeah, see it's going up. Let's see if we trap that short. Be nice to see that trigger. Interesting. See, with it being good news and then stable, a lot of people will be trying to pick this type of bottom. So I can see us having a reasonable bounce from here. I mean, if you want to pick a bottom when we've gone up sort of 2 legs down, you'd be wanting to think about getting in here, wouldn't you? But okay, leg up. Let's see what happens.
Order submitted.
Okay, there is a failure there which is triggered, but that's flitting around there. It might go off quick in a minute. I don't like it when it triggers and does that.
Order cancelled.
Look, see what I mean? You tend to think it's going to bounce from there, don't you? Fell breakout, we've pushed in, we've pushed up, we've bounced once and twice, nice big bullish bar, and you think that would take us up, wouldn't you? I wonder if there is any type of bigger channel there. Let's have a look. Bit hard to say at the moment, isn't it? Possible. So, everybody starting to get that Christmassy feeling now, are we? Everybody got all their Christmas presents. Shopping at town this morning. I have my anniversary today, 22 years. No, 21 years, sorry. So I went to town with my wife today. We had some breakfast, did a bit of Christmas shopping. I had a couple of glasses of mulled wine. I had a nice fried breakfast. Well, what I class as a Scottish breakfast. I had a nice fried breakfast, sausage, bacon, eggs, the works, and I had a nice double Glenfiddich, 15-year-old Glenfiddich, nice Scottish breakfast. And then we did a bit of Christmas shopping, so quite a nice morning, actually. Something we don't often do. So, yeah, everyone seems to be running around the shops now, panicking with bags and bags of stuff. Thanks, what? I appreciate that. Yeah, 21 years ago today, I was sat on a beach in Kenya getting married. Wow, time flies, it really does. Oh, so yeah, everything's really Christmassy now. I do look like we're going a bit sideways here. There is a possibility of it. Let's have a look. Let's see. That is the first time I've been out uptown for months. Absolute months. We got a leg down, a break, new low. So we got a channel, break, new low. A couple of legs up, come back, retest this. So, see, it's unusual. Let me just flick over to the 2000 tick chart because it's all right. I'm just looking at the 1500 tick chart on the Nasdaq, and they're very, very different today. Absolutely, completely different. Let me just drag this in quickly. So this is the NQ. So let's just put that there. This is the NQ. They're often identical. I've just changed over the 2000 tick chart, so for like. But they're completely different. This is, we've got a leg break. We seem to be working up. This one, it seems to be the opposite way, which is a little bit unusual. So there's definitely a downward feel. We've broken below this. We've broken a bit lower, so unusual, because sometimes I tend to have a look. If I'm thinking about taking a trade on the ES, I tend to have a quick look on the NQ, and if it's going in the same sort of direction, it just gives you that extra sort of bit of, okay, I'm probably safe to do this. So, hidden second entry short, which is triggered, but I think that's going to get stopped out personally. We've got a leg down, a hidden second entry short, which is triggered, but then we've bounced off this. There's definitely something there. So, I would expect that stop to get taken out. Having said that, it is quite bearish, so let's see. Yeah, see, that's weird. ES is coming down, NQ is going up. Unusual. So it's clearly playing apart that line. We got 1, 2 touches, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So are we going to bounce from here? Who knows? I'm staying out of this anyway. It's still a bit congested. I would have thought it would push up, but I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets trapped. Having said that, the NQ is continuing to push up, so maybe it will. I don't know. Okay, so possible double trap. You may have got taken out there, or will the stop be there? So, yeah, it's definitely got a downward feel. News in 6 minutes. Good point. Good point. I watched some more of that Billions last night. I'm really enjoying it anyway. I'm assuming some of you guys have watched that. If you've never watched it, It's Damian Lewis, the ginger-haired guy, that was in what was he in? Oh dear. Oh, that thing where the US Marine was found after 8 years in a hole in Iraq or somewhere. What was his name? Axe, yeah. Hey Kev, how you doing, bud? Really good, actually. I've only watched the first about 5 episodes. He's a hedge fund. He runs a hedge fund, doesn't he? But there's lots of dodgy dealer in there, and it's the district attorneys who's trying to nail him. But it's quite good, actually. It's quite good. And I kind of like getting into these things when there's about six series or something like that. It is good, yeah. I like Damian Lewis anyway. I like him. He was good in what was that thing he was in? What was it? He got turned, didn't he? It'll come to me. It was about 7 or 8 series of those. I forget what it's called. It'll come to me. But no, it's really enjoyable. So if you've not watched it, and obviously we're traders, so it's the type of thing most of you guys would enjoy. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's good. It's nice to have. There's nothing nicer to sit down at night when the kids are in bed and the wife's in bed. Whack on the big TV. Nice Apex. Do you know what, Jay? I've got mixed feelings about this. I have. Because I've got no problem with it. But I think sometimes it comes over a bit hypocritical of Apex. They say, they try and, encourage you, which they should be encouraging you to take your time, do this, do that, get your risk management, and then they give you the option to pass it in one day. Because I guarantee what people will be doing is they'll be gambling it. Do you know what I mean? So I've got mixed feelings about it. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they are encouraging, because I'll tell you what's going to happen. People are going to be taking an evaluation and they're going to be trying to pass it in a day. So I just think personally it sends out the wrong message, because you don't want to be promoting an environment of gambling, really, because it is very addictive trading. It's very, very easy. There's a failure there, but we'll go into this. So now, don't get me wrong. You guys use my affiliate code and I get a cut. So that's good. And the money, it is good. It helps me because I only work weekends. But my honest opinion is I personally would advise you to be careful with it. Now, you can tell I'm telling you to. I'm not thinking about money. I'm not thinking about making money out of you guys. I get affiliate links when you guys genuinely take that. But I would say, in all honesty, just be careful with it. Don't just chuck your money away. Wait for the sales and then sort of do it the right way. So, hey, Rodian, how you doing? Perfect opportunity today. High impact news. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I've decided to take one trade, but if I was having an evaluation and the evaluations are cheap, I do gamble myself sometimes. But that's me, and that's my personal choice. But I think sometimes encouraging people to take risks when they're learning to trade, I think really doesn't send the right message. And my personal opinion, I think Apex. I think don't get me wrong, I like Apex, I use them, but I think they've lowered themselves a little bit. I don't think it's the right message, personally. But that's my personal opinion. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It might sound a bit hypocritical because I try and pass them straight away, but that's me, and I don't do it because I think, it's this, because it's quite addictive, and when there's not a lot of risk, you tend to do it. I seem to pass evals consistently when I take 7-10 days, but I try to do it faster, maybe less when I think really, now we all take a little bit more riskier trades and maybe a little bit more when we're doing an eval, because if they're 90% off, you're risking $15, which is peanuts, really. The only slight issue I have with that, and I do it myself, is it can get you quite addicted. And I found, I've done a little bit of research about trading and addiction, and I found I feel that bit of a buzz, and I've tried to, when I feel that, I try to walk away and get away from it. So, I don't know. I think it for me, it's clearly making Apex look a bit like they're trying to get people more hooked to do it. You know, it sounds like a bit of a below the scratching the bottom of the barrel type of a way to make extra money. Do you know what I mean? Give people a discount, make it cheaper for them because it's expensive, but you know, don't encourage, you know, to take gambles. So, you know, I'd say to you, if you want an evaluation, then take an evaluation, fine. But I wouldn't personally. Now, I class you as my work colleague, so you know, I know a lot of you guys now. We know each other. You know, and you guys know they pay me a commission, but I'd rather you do it when it's cheap or something like that. But I wouldn't get encouraged. Did you see the 1 million plus payouts? Apex probably needs to raise them. I'll tell you something for a fact, Rodian. Now, I know this for a fact. As an affiliate, when you guys use my code, I get commissions every day. Now, when the commissions are 80%, I may get 1, maybe 2 a day, sometimes none. When they're 80 and 90% off, I get 10, 12, 15 a day sometimes. So I know how many Apex sell when they drop the discount, and they sell tenfold. And 90% of those are going to get blown. 98% of those are going to get blown. Those traders are live 100%. Those trades are live 100%. Apex takes those. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. 1 million plus payouts. Yeah, I mean, once you're earning that sort of money, Apex will be daft not to copy you. But obviously they do it in a certain structured way. They give you all the evaluation is just to sort of, you know, can you at least what's it? And then over 3 months, then obviously you're limited to how much you can take. Now, if you've still got accounts after 3 months, I think there's the chance of you keeping that climbs dramatically. But who knows? If perhaps they look at accounts after, and they may go, okay, we've looked at this guy, he's still a bit up or down, maybe we should give it a little bit. But, you know, if you've got 20 accounts and you're withdrawing $2,000 a month, that's $40,000 a month. They're seriously not going to be paying you that out of their own pocket. They're going to want to make something out of it, you know. Surprisingly no impact on price. Yeah, it's weird that. So probably pulling about 70 plus. Yeah, absolutely. No, don't get me wrong. They're making a lot of money. This isn't a ploy because they need to get money in. They make plenty of money, I would say. But I like Apex because they do think about the customers. Everything's quick. You know, I've had payments and I've never had an issue with a payment. So I like that side. When they had the issue with the money in the payment scheme, they go out their way. I know they were, you know, I know a guy who works for Apex. I'll have a little chat with now and again. And he said, you know, they're all pulling extra shifts to sort out these money issues and when stuff goes wrong. So, I know they put the time in below this, you know, behind the scenes, but to do the 1 day thing, there's only one message that's saying, really, you can pass it in 1 day. So you can go crazy in 1 day and then pass it. And I don't think really it's the best, you know, message to be given because, you know, people do get addicted with this. And it'd be like a bookies and a betting office just giving away free things. You know, will double your money to encourage you to gamble. So, you know, I don't know if it's the right message or not personally. I noticed there was a few messages on, on the Facebook groups about it. And I don't know if it went down very well. I think really they'd have been better off just giving discounts, making it a bit cheaper for people, but, you know, not charging people the same money, but encouraging them to speed things up. So, but that's my personal feeling. Not sure what's going on here. We're clearly going a bit sideways. We've had a little break out the top. We come straight back down the bottom. Big bullish bar, but you don't really want to be going long going there. I mean, it may rocket up. We've had a break. We tested it 1, 2, a few times. Where's this news? Oh, the news has happened. Oh, the news was here. Okay. Flash management. Okay, so the news did nothing basically. I see what you mean. Yeah, exponential. How you doing, bud? Not much reaction. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Rodian, absolutely. The Apex make a decent amount of money. Don't get me wrong. I like Apex. I use them. They're the best out there as far as I'm concerned. The prices are right. They make the right decisions. I think the rules or lack of them are good. And I've not had issues with payout. The only people I know who's had issues with payout are people who are clearly trying to manipulate things. But I like Daryl. I like the fact that they're constantly trying to make things easier and better for the trader. I know things like if you weren't out of a trade when the market closed, you'd lose your account. They brought something out so it automatically closes it 1 minute before. They didn't have to do that. They lost themselves a bit of money when they did that. But I kind of like that. You think, okay, they're looking out for you. And then when they brought down 25 trading days to get a payment to 10, that, they paid out a lot more money then. So I like the decisions they're making. Possible large downtrend. Yeah, I've had a look at that. Trouble is, it misses out all this lot. So let's see if it looks any better now. Actually, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? My only slight issue I have is the 2000 tick chart of the NQ is doing the complete opposite, which is a bit unusual. Or is it? I don't know. I've not been trading it long enough, really. So are we coming down? If you were going to come down here, you may want to be taking that failure because you're going to trap a shitload of longs there. But look at that coming up. So I don't know about that at the moment. Let's see if it's reacted to it, isn't it? I think it's more sideways than down, but there is definitely a bearish feel for it. So what I'm going to do just for now is just going to put a line there so it's an area of interest. I mean, you can't argue with it, can you? But a lot of the times it'll do this and then rock it up. So I like Apex. Stop messing around with Bullenux Lilu. You're up 18p. Good on you, mate. I like that. I like hearing people doing well. That's a nice number, that is. Let me ask you a question, mate. Do you trade them all? Do you copy them all at the same time, or would you split them up? I always thought if I got to 20, I would do 10 and 10. 10 one day, 10 the next day, or 10 on one trade, 10. So I'm not risking all 20. Because you do hear some horror stories, don't you? There was someone yesterday who said he's done with the Apex trade copier. It took trades for him. I don't know. Something went wrong and he ended up losing accounts. So can you imagine copying? You split them. Yeah, it makes sense that. Can you imagine trading all 20? I mean, ideally, you want to trade as many as you can. But if something does go wrong, you've lost everything. Whereas if you split it up, if you got 10 and 10, if you lose 10, at least you've got 10, so you can continue to earn. But I think I don't know. There's too many scary things I hear about. Really, I think some of these things need to be ironed out. Splitting these up, I think it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we knew it was absolutely 100% categorically that it would never go wrong, then maybe you would, but I still think it's good practice to at least split them in half. And yeah, it'll drop your earning a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you've got 20 accounts and you do 10 and 10, and you're earning, I don't know, either 2,000 from half of them or 1,000 from all of them, you're still making a stack of money every month. Lance, I never asked you anything. I need your help. All right, fire away, mate. What do you want? What do you need? How much do you need, mate? How much do you need? That's where that usually goes. What do you need, mate? We're here to help. That's what all this is about, helping each other, supporting each other. What do you need? A trade that gives me 10 points without going against me, $200 away from blowing my account. A trade that gives me 10 points without going against me, $200 away from blowing. What am I missing? You're doing, what am I missing? You're laughing. What am I missed? Am I getting old? Oh, you need a winning trade. Don't we all, mate? Don't we all? I tell you what, I can give you a trade. I can definitely give you a trade. And I can guarantee it's 50-50 whether you win it or not, okay? So I'll just buy now. You're struggling. We're all struggling, mate. Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? I was thinking about Sam the other day, and I felt a bit sorry for him actually, because I know he's. I've had a few payments, so I've got past that first hurdle. I've got past that first hurdle, and I know Sam was doing really well. 5 trader, he was building up nicely, and he hit a bit of a wall, and I think an emotional wall. And I was looking at some of his trades, and he was taking slightly riskier trades than he normally does, because you've got that when you get close to that $2,600 level, you've got those emotions kicking in. You're thinking, am I going to get my first payment? Am I going to get my first? So I felt really sorry for him. And I remember taking sort of trades like that. Now, what I try and do is, you hear me say, can't take that, it's too far away from this, can't take that. And I see Sam taking some of those. But it's very, very hard to find that, because people say you need to be more selective, more strict. But you can't draw a line under it. You can't say, okay, on numbers 1 to 10, you need to only take 8. So what's an 8 trade? What's a 9 trade? So it's very hard to get to that level where you think, okay, that trade I can take, or that one I can't. It's trying to find that comfortable balance of when is it too risky, you know what I mean? Because obviously you can take slightly riskier trades. As long as they're going to win 6 or 7 times out of 10, then it's still, you're going to make your money. But it's trying to find that balance, and I think that takes quite a while to do. I think that's a little bit more tricky than people think. It's trying to take trades that are obvious, but the trouble is, we get days where we go for a week or so where you really struggle to find a decent trade. So it just sort of then, you lose, your discipline a bit, and you take something a bit risky, and that messes with your head. And then every trade then, when you do another trade, if you lose that one, that messes with your head a bit more, and you can get into this little bit of a, this sort of horrible cycle. And I think that's what happened to Sam a little bit. And he ended up blowing his account, which was a real shame, because he wasn't far away. He'd done okay building up, but, once you start to feel that pressure a little bit, once you've been up there once or twice or 3 times, it doesn't get so bad, because you've been there. But when you're leading up to your first ever payment, you can really feel those nerves. If you have $200 drawdown left, I'd take 1 ES contract with a 4-point stop. Yeah, I'll tell you what some people are doing now is they're taking a trade on the news, and they're doing 1 long 6.25 points and 1 short 6.25 points. And one of them will win. People do all sorts of weird and wonderful things, don't they? I'm thinking, your leg down, 1 attempt to go high, 2nd attempt to go high, failure. Yeah, it's not safe to trade this stuff, really. It is just choppy. I see nice trades, but I'm always too scared to get in. Yeah, there's quite a lot on the internet actually about having that sort of fear of pulling the trigger. It's quite common. I think it's all part of the journey. You go through these different phases as you're learning. And I found that I went through a period of that when I had four accounts. I've got to say, I know when you start to get PAs, lots of people go for lots of them, and I tried myself 4. I had 5, I think was the most I had. And there's a lot more stress involved. So now I've moved down to 1. That stress has really dropped. And if I can concentrate on getting 1 to maybe $7,000, once it's up enough, I can continue to trade that each month and take a regular amount. Let's say I take $2,000 every month from that account. And when you can hit that level, then I think it's good maybe to get 2 more and then build them up. But can you imagine? You know, I have a chat with Wilson. Hey, Sam, how you doing? I have a chat with Wilson sometimes, and he's got 20 accounts, and I was watching him in a trade the other day, and I was actually shitting me. I was really nervous for him because I can imagine how he was feeling. So I think sometimes you're better off just keeping 1 PA account until you can get it up to a level that you can trade it every month and take consistent money from it every month. Wilson's doing great. I'll tell you what, you speak to Wilson, he's an absolutely lovely bloke. He really is. Almost pet threat. Yeah, he is, yeah. I kind of hope he doesn't withdraw, but I think he will. So what I would be inclined to do is maybe withdraw 1,000 out of all of them. Because if you withdraw from all of them, the chance of him blowing the accounts then is pretty high. And then what 10 accounts, you got what, $2,800. My chart is different than yours. Okay, and I'll try and reload. He'll have to go through it all again, which I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Is it an issue with passing an evaluation, trading 2 contracts, and within the same month passing an eval and taking a payment, and then blowing the account starting again? I don't know. People have all sorts of weird and wonderful ways of doing it. Is that any better? Why is that just jumped? So I don't know whether he'll take it all. I have a feeling he might do. I perfectly understand it because I'd probably be very tempted myself. But ideally, let me have a look. Wilson's doing great. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to resist withdrawal until I'm over $5,000. Yeah, I've got 1 at 4.5. I might actually withdraw soon. Maybe a nice time to withdraw around about Christmas as well. It's always nice to have a bit of extra money, isn't it? But I mean, ideally, what you want in an ideal world is a bunch of PAs and being able to draw out of them every month. So my kind of thinking is if I can get this account to $7,000, and then I will draw a line under that, and I would say, okay, anything I make on top of that over the next month, up to 2,000, obviously, I will withdraw. Now, in the meantime, if I make $2,000 in the first 2 weeks, and I will draw then, and I'll do it later. So you could potentially have $2,000 twice a month. Twice in a month. I kind of like that way. That way, you've always got $7,000 in there. So if you have a really bad day and the shit hits the fan, you drop down to 5,000. You've still got a decent amount in there. And when you can withdraw every month, then start adding 2 more accounts. Maybe the next payment. You know, if you get a payment this month, then add 2 more PAs, and then another payment next month, add another 2, and just build slowly. But I think if you go for 10, 20 PAs in one go, that adds such a lot of pressure to you. I noticed the difference in having 4 accounts and now just having 1. The pressure's nowhere near as bad. I mean, you see me take that trade, then bars are going up really slowly, and I wasn't in a rush to take them because I thought chances are we're going to make another leg. But I guarantee you, if I was on 4 or 5 accounts, I'd be shit myself around about here. Let's have a look. So I'm cautious about leaving money in it isn't protected. No, I know what you mean. But what I'll say is some people who have these big payments must have, 200,000, 300 more in the account. But what I'll say is, if you're earning $40,000 a month, within 3, 4, or 5 months of withdrawing that sort of money, you're going to have a nice little savings pot. So if anything ever does go tits up, at least then you've got some money to trade your own account. So I get what you're saying. But I wouldn't, 7,000. If you have 10 accounts, that's 70,000. But if you are withdrawing $2,000 a month from 10 accounts, that's $20,000 a month. If you're drawing 2 payments a month, it could be double that. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I used to be concerned about that, but the more I trade with Apex, the longer they last, the more sort of, comfortable I feel. And what I will say, this is not really money, my own money. It's money I've earned with their money, if you know what I mean. So if I put sort of 20,000 of my own money in there and they shut down and nick me money, I'd be absolutely gutted. If I built 20,000 up out of 5 accounts, it wouldn't hurt me nowhere near as much, because you know what I'm saying. But I was just talking about you 10, 15 minutes ago, Sam, that I felt for you when you got so close to your first payment. You'll get there. Once you've had your first payment, the novelty soon wears off then, and then you'll get another one a month or 2 later, and then you might get 2 or 3. And I believe then it just starts to grow. It's getting used to that level of emotions, isn't it? Yeah, you'll be right, mate. You'll be right. I mean, you've got what not everyone's got. Got the stopping power. Can you imagine? You know what it's like when you lose money and you put in time. So can you imagine how many people actually give up pretty quick? A lot of people. So just by having that staying power, you've got one up on everybody else. Absolutely, yeah. These barriers, they're emotional barriers. I don't think you can, go sim, 2-3 years, flick straight onto a PA account, have 10 or 20 of them and build them and make a ton of money. You can't do that. We're not used to, dealing with those amounts of money going round our head. It's just too much. $20,000-$40,000. It's massive amounts of money. It is, really, to most people. So it just takes time to get used to that type of way of thinking and that idea. And obviously, do you know what it's like if you walk into a Bucky's at the weekend and you put £20 on a horse? You can sit there and have a drinks with your mates. You're not glued at the TV, are you? But if you put, £500 on a horse, it's a different story, isn't it? You'd be looking at that screen, wouldn't you? And your knees will be knocking. So these different amounts of money have different effects on you. They really do. And it takes time. It takes time to build on them. I had a nice Scottish breakfast this morning, Sam. Big fry up and a double 12-year-old or 15-year-old Glenfiddich. Went down really nice. "21 years of marriage. Oh, I know where my medal is. Yeah, really nice. Goes down nice for breakfast. It was about 9:30, 9:15 this morning. That's the earliest I've been out of the house. Well, apart from the school run. Thanks, mate. Yeah, there's my medal. Thank you. Yep, 21 years ago, I was on a white powdered beach in Kenya. See that you're doing well. Is this the result of changing your strategy? Pickle juice. I love that. Lovely name. I'll tell you what it is. Well, I was just talking about this, and I think a lot of it is having one PA account or having 4 PAs. If I lose one PA account, it's not the end of the world. I'll pick up a couple of valuations, I'll pass another one, and I'll have another one back up there. But if you've got 4, I've got just over 2,000 this one. If you've got 4, you got $8,000 on the line. I've got $2,000 of someone else's money there, really. So I think that's I think just reducing that has definitely helped. As I was saying, I was in that trade there. Now, if I'd have had 4 accounts, I might have come out at a point, because if it starts to go sideways or a bit slower, I tend to panic. But I was quite happy that it would make 3 points there, and I got out about here. It comfortably did. So I can feel the difference, and I've gone back from 1 contract to 2, because 1 contract does seem to take forever. And it's a little bit more risky going for 2 contracts. But look, the way I see it is, if what's the ATR at the moment? So the ATR. So I'm risking on average, let's say $250. Now, realistically, taking into consideration fees, I've got to lose, let's say, sometimes it might be a bit more than that or a bit less, but I've got to lose really 8 trades in a row to blow that account. Now, if I'm losing 8 trades in a row, I'm clearly not ready for trading. I've never lost 8 in a row. And, with this strategy, high probability trades, you're not going to lose 8 in a row. So that leads me to my next point. I've had issues with revenge trading. So for me, it doesn't matter whether I'm trading 1 contract or 2 contracts. If I go on tilt, it's neither in or there. But I do like the fact that I get another $600, and I'll be starting then to stretch that trailing drawdown. And if I can get up to $5,000, my $250 risk then is only really risking 5%, which I think 5% maximum for this style of trading. That's where I think it starts to get better, and it'll only get better from there. I mean, the plan is to get to $7,000. And if I can get to $7,000, I'll then say, okay, I'll trade this for the next month. Whatever I earn, I'll withdraw. Obviously up to $2,000. So I'll use that as my trading pot of money, $7,000, and whatever I can make on top. So I plan to buy more accounts in the future as well. Hopefully 20 accounts with Apex. Just trade 1 copy. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine, mate. If you can get 2-point trade once a day, $100, 20 accounts, that's $2,000 a day. Now, even if things don't go well and you only have half of that, it's still $1,000 a day, and that's $20,000 a month, which is a bloody huge amount of money. And what I will say is, if you can earn that money consistently again and again and again, more money will follow you, because your bank balance will shoot up, and you'll go, okay, I might stick 10,000 of my own money in and trade another 2 or 3 contracts and make a bit more money. Once you make money, follows money. Once you start to make money, money will follow you, and you'll make more and more of it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, mate. Without your dreams, it's just not worth doing, is it? You've got to have dreams. I sit and look in a car showroom sometime and dream about driving. Driving a. What do I want? There's a couple of motors I'd like. The Range Rover Velar. I sit and dream about that. When I was in town, I was looking at the Rolexes. I sit and dream about buying the Kermit or the Hulk, the green face Rolex, which is at the moment 15 grand. I dream about doing that. Every time I go into town, I'll look in the watch shop, because it helps motivate you, and it gives you, you've got visual goals then. So that, mate, as far as I'm concerned, you're a better trader with dreams, because it'll just, I look at holidays. My dream is to move to Dubai for a few years. I've even looked at renting in Dubai, what they cost to rent, what you get. There's all sorts of stuff on YouTube, but it inspires me, and it gets me up in the morning, gets me excited about the day ahead. So, mate, nothing wrong with having dreams, I'll tell you that. Nothing at all. We were just talking about that, actually. I know there was someone who, because I know Apex have just upgraded their trade copier, and I think somebody's put a post on one of the Facebook groups saying they had a problem with it. So I don't know. The more you think about something, the more likely it is to. Absolutely. That's another reason why I stream. Someone said to me, an experienced trader, when I first started, he said, surround yourself by people you want to be like. And I absolutely agree with that, which is another reason why I chat to you guys. I chat to some of you offline. I get messages all the time, when I chat with people. I've chatted with Sam. I've chatted with with Kev from where is he? What's his handle in here? Ninth Floor. I think Armanas as well, and Wood. And I've chatted with most of you, and I always say, you can message me anytime you like. I'm happy to chat I can chat trading all day long. If you've got any concerns or you want to just chat with someone, or you've had a bad day and you want a little bit of a pep talk or something, I got no issues with anybody messaging me, because as far as I'm concerned, all you guys are just like my my work colleagues. I spend more time with you than I spend with my wife. Some guys might think that's a great thing, but no, I got no issues. You can message me whenever you like. I'll always respond. Why are we stuck down here? Anybody put any money in cryptos lately? I stuck another £200 in this morning. I bought some more. Mind you, whenever I buy, we take a bit of a dump. But, I stuck another £100 in. I put 100 in Ada Cardano, and that's come down 2% since I put it in. I put £50 in XRP and £50 in Gala Games. And I just stick 100 or 200 in every other month or so. I don't know, whenever I got a bit of extra cash. Yeah. Sometimes go on your stream and calm down for a bit when I feel antsy seems to work. Yeah. Good. It's good to talk to people, because when you realise it's not just you're having problems, everybody is, it makes you feel better. And, every bit of research I've ever done, every trader goes through this. Now, if you read some of Mark Douglas's books or listen to his the videos he's got, he used to go around to different investment banks and coach their traders about psychology and discipline. So, it doesn't matter whether you're just a retail trader from home or you've been sucked into a big bank because you've got clever flashing all over you. It doesn't matter. We all suffer with the same emotions. So, sometimes when you chat with other people and they have the same thing, it makes you feel better that, you're not on your own. I did look at that higher low there. It does seem to be it's getting higher, but I tend to avoid them now because just now and again you get a trap. But I can see it's coming up, because what I will see is we usually follow the NQ, don't we? And the NQ's looking kind of bullish. Well, it's clearly bullish. So, look at that. Can't argue with that. Touch. Yesterday, look. Look how perfect that is there. Look how perfect that's definitely going up. So there's a higher low there. Well, I don't tend to take them there, but in all fairness,
Order
on a
submitted.
sim here, let me just check. That is on a sim, yeah, it is. I'm going to go long there on a sim because I think it's absolutely worth it. So let's just chuck it in there.
Order filled.
Shove that up here. Let's put that there. How much will I be risking? $400 on one contract. So let me have a look, leg. So I'm going to put this in and just let it ride. I wouldn't normally do it anyway, but let's put that like that. Somewhere around there and there. So as we know, things are really bullish at the moment, so I'm not going to be super greedy, even though it's a sim. 520. Tell you what, let's just go for 1-to-1. Close enough. I'm just going to let that ride. It is a higher low. It's very bullish. I mean, obviously you want to be going from here really, but I think that probably work okay. So let's shove that on here. So I think leg sideways. I think there's a good chance we're going to move up here. So let's just plonk that there. because I like how that's looking. So let's just leave that there. It's only a sim anyway. I'm just getting used to the pricing system on how it works. I was surprised that was that much risk on one contract for one bar, and I'm not even above it. I'm in a bit early on it, so I'll let that ride. Always on top. Where are we? Yeah, we are. Okay, so let's have a look here. Let's stuff that down there for now. Okay, so we're out. We're retesting the top. Possible. There's the failure, which is actually trapped and triggered. So I'm not ready to go long just yet. But yeah, someone mentioned about being a bit scared to pull the trigger. I went through a bit of that for a while. But I think now, in all fairness, if you see a really good trade, you just have to take it. I heard someone say that. I was watching something on YouTube the other day about people being nervous about trading. They say if you see a trade, you just take it. That's it. Because we sit and wait all day, don't we, for trades? So if you see what you believe to be a really good setup, even if you're a bit nervous, take it. Just take it. Let it go. Set your points and let it ride. If it fails, it fails. If it works, happy days. But leg and leg. This is definitely bullish. Leg up, couple of legs back, and up again. So I think that's going to continue on up, I do. Which tells me I think this is more likely to follow. Looking on the dailies, looking nice and bullish. We had that downtrend, we had the overshoot, big strong push up, trap some short, up we've gone sideways, and now we're out. So I'd expect maybe a little bit of sideways, a little bit of a pullback, but I think everything's looking nice for upwards. This is looking nice and bullish. It's got to follow this at some point, and we spent a lot of time right down the bottom of this chart, so we'll see. Up, bit of sideways, and then up again. I like that. Unfortunately, no real setup. What I will say is we've touched once, twice, and 3 times there and pushed up strong, but there's no real setup there. That's the second entry. There's no higher low there or anything. My only slight issue I have is most breakouts fail, and it's relatively bearish part of it, so I'm just staying out of just this first bit, just in case it does decide to come back in, because obviously, as we know, most breakouts fail, but we are slowly making sort of higher highs, higher lows, so I got mixed feelings about this, but there's no setup anyway, even if I wanted to go. I want to go long. So reference this 1 day pass. You're still paying 71% off. So it's still, what is it, $45, something like that. So just go easy with that. Don't start going mad with them. Remember, if you're going to trade in a day, you're going to be taking risks. And maybe unnecessary ones now. It might work for some of you, so I'm not telling you what to do, but I'd be more concerned because, as you know, I get a commission from Apex. I'm not worried about that. I'd rather you not chuck away money, especially this time of year. See, that was what I was concerned about there. If you'd have gone long there thinking we're bouncing off the top, we're pushing up, and then all of a sudden, wham, down that comes. So you just can't take anything. There's no real setup anywhere. There's the second entry, but it's congested, and two, it's a breakout of here. And as we know, most of the time that's going to get stitched up. I think it may hold, but who knows? Although it is bullish, we're still having pullbacks. So that might be an okay pullback. My stop's there, which is quite a nice solid bar, so I think we're still good there. Okay, so we got a leg up. I'll attempt to go lower. See, there's always the possibility, if I'm looking at the daily, as we've broken above here, is we come back and maybe retest it or have a bit of a pullback before we make it, because we've had quite a quick, strong move there. So we had the same there, a few small bars, then a quick move, and then it went sideways. So we've had some small bars and a quick move. So we could have a couple of 3 bars sideways before we push up, or it could come back and retest this a bit. That's just speculation at the moment, maybe. It's what it could do. Okay, so we've had quite a pullback from there. I like that to come back to the MA, so what I probably tend to do is move that stop up. It's only a sim this, I'm just getting used to it, so that reduces the risk. In fact, it's hard to tell. Yeah, see, it's still 1 tick below there. In fact, is it more or what? It's hard to get it 1 tick, isn't it? Okay, there's 1 tick, so there's a $300 risk, which is a bit better. But we're up, we're back to the EMA, we're up, we're back to the EMA, we're up, we're back to the EMA, we're up. We've had a really strong pullback here. We've come back to the EMA and bounced up really strong. We've triggered some shorts there, so for me that's going to come up a bit more. It may come back again before it goes up again. So we've had a leg up, 2 legs back. It'd been nice to get a higher low here because I can see this going up a bit further. Let's just shove that in there. Yeah, I like to higher low here. It's looking quite nice and bullish on the NQ, so I think there's a fair chance that this is going to fall. So we had a big leg down, then we recovered it all. So we've had 1 leg down, 1 leg, and a bit of sideways. We've had a leg down, another leg down, and we've touched, bounced a few times, managed to push out. So this is starting to look bullish to me. So I would certainly think the chance now we've broke a pump and we've come back and bounced there. We've come back and we've come in and it's reversed quickly. So I think now I would expect this to at least get up to this level somewhere, but quite possibly higher. Is that high or low? Yeah, it is. It's just too far from the MA for me because it could come back a bit lower, so I ain't getting involved here. It's just way too far from the MA for a higher low for me. It's nice and bullish on here, so it may work, but I wouldn't take that. It's just way too far away from me. We've got 2 legs of correction, so it'd be nice to trap some shorts here maybe, and then up we go again. So let's put that there anyway, so at least I've got a completely risk-free trade with got 2 points there, did you? Yeah. Right. Okay, so I've guaranteed myself $100 there. Well, that's a sim anyway. I'm just trying to play it like I would play it. I'd expect a little bit of maybe a trap here. You know what? Let's just leave it there. Break even +1. Because I leg up, pull straight back to the main, nice and strong. I think there's a good chance of getting there. In fact, let's take something out of it. Let's just take $100 out of it. Guaranteed $100, but I think there's... I'd like to see that trap a bit, but I'm giving it enough space to come down a bit if it does decide to. Still no setup, unfortunately. So at 4772, 772. Oh, so you entered here, did you? Yeah.
Stop filled.
Not sure whether there is a bigger channel. I leg up, 2 legs back. Oh, it took me out, did it? Oh, okay. Perhaps I should have left it where it was. Okay. It's only a sim anyway. I'm just getting used to the point system. That's where my stop was, wasn't it? So I guaranteed myself 100. Okay, let's get that back out of the way up there. Now there is a bit of resistance there. Possible double top. Okay, excuse me, just for 1 minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. Just fill the gap from yesterday's close. What's going on here? Let's have a look. Down, up. Yeah, in fact, that daily, come up here, we've touched here, so there is a possibility of either a bit of sideways at this sort of more or less a neutral bar there, slightly bullish. We had that initial push up, then it goes, so we could get a little bit of sideways again. Possible. NQ still looking bullish. Okay, interesting. Let's see if we get 2 legs back. It's all right. Sorry, I was just messaging somebody on some of the exponential. If I'm not back before the stream is over, have a good. Yeah, you too, buddy. You too, mate. No problem. It's all right. I was just responding to someone who went short there on one of those second entry short. I don't know if it was that one or that one. They went short. Every time Lance stopped talking, I feel like I should call emergency services. Just in case I've had a heart attack. I'm all right. I'm still here. As long as you see the mouse working, I'm all good. Unless I spell out help, then you don't need to worry. So I know someone on Facebook posted that trade. They gone short there. Second entry short. I just said I went long above there. We just bounced off what could possibly be the bottom of a range. Too risky. Trouble is, we've got a lovely looking channel when we have a trend. When we have a break from there, normally people expect to go lower, but the trouble is we spend so many days now ranging, and obviously we've just bounced. We've made a new low of the day there after this channel, which we've respected quite a few times, and then an overshoot. So you probably expect it to push back up, wouldn't you? I think it's coming. You think it's coming down? See, the NQ's going up. Does that really make a difference? I don't know, but I thought, you know, from what little I've looked at this, this tends to follow the NQ. But my experience trading the NQ is very limited. And I mean, when I say limited, I mean literally just maybe a week or so's worth. I'm just trading on a similar amount. Well, obviously, I mean, you trade it price action just the same as you would this chart, but obviously the point system is different here. So you may be right there, mate. I think it's coming down to 4773. Yeah, you're right there, lad. The bottom of this, yeah. But are we going to continue higher? There's 2 legs down on the NQ back to the EMA. Never take this one, always wait for the high low. I've been stung that many times. I tend to not take the second entries now. Not that it is a second entry. It's a recount, really. It's just a first drop, isn't it? So I'm still not massively convinced about that channel. It's not the best looking channel. But yeah, it's not the best looking. See, it might bounce off here. There's actually a lot of support there. We've touched that one a lot of time. Once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 if you count that one. So okay, so still held. So that's a sign. Top still looking okay. It's a bit of an odd channel, that, because we got that bit of an odd V shape, haven't we? Saw your stream, yeah. Righty tighty. Oh, hello. Sorry, it went quiet again. I'm still breathing. What's the NQ doing? Okay, so quick scan of that. I've got the NQ actually really nicely. Just drag it in a minute. Really nicely fit in there, touch there, perfect touch there, fit in, perfect there. So we got a leg up, 1, 2 legs of correction, and this looks like another leg up. So be interested to see if this comes and bounces on that line, because it is kind of whether it'll get that far. Trouble is, I'm not a fan of taking them so far off the key entry point, but it does seem like it's working in this bottom tier, so that's looking bullish to me. And now this is. So see, yeah, it's. I mean, by the count, it's a second entry long, but it's only really 1 leg down, so it could come down lower. Now it could come down lower and bounce off there. And if you look at the NQ could quite easily come down a bit further as well. So if this comes down, this may come down. So I personally think that is a trap. So if anybody's taken that, I personally think it's a trap. It might work. But we've had a break of this. So when we have a break of it, we could come down and bounce off here. That would take out them. The stops. I doubt anybody would take that, but there they might. So I think that's coming down. In fact, I put money on it. That's one leg down. Couple of quick pushes up. I can see another leg down, and that would be the natural place to bounce or to reach leg and leg, and then I don't know. You never know though. Okay, maybe not. I don't think we can fit that in, can we? Maybe we can. I'm still not a massive fan of that channel. It's just a bit odd looking. It's a bit swipey, but sort of up and down, but up. We haven't looked at market, have we? The Max A wasn't in today. What time was it? It's maybe a bit early. I took it, did exactly what I thought, just was a little off on how far down it would be. Yeah. I'm just not a massive fan of the channel, really, how I've got it drawn. I suppose it works, but you got 3 points. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Let's see, it just looks like one leg. You could have done that and come down and retested this, see. I don't often have a lot of confidence in me trades when the channel isn't. I'm not comfortable with the channel. Sideways, it's like push up, sideways, yeah. See, I had my channel drawn slightly different, so I had that as a break. But what I will say is it's clearly, the bottoms are clearly moving up, so I suppose that's one thing in its favour. I like 3 points. Good number, 3 points. I like that. Excuse me. 3 points guarantees you over 1-to-1 then. Well, most of the time, 95% of the time. And I always think if you can do that, you know, you can replace one loss with a win and you're back to where you were, maybe a slight bit higher. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to go make myself a nice latte in my new Sage machine, and I will be back. Let me just my 5-minute break thing on. Yeah, 5-minute maximum. Look at it go now. So good luck. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so we do seem to be going up. Right. Just wondering whether that is a spike in a channel. Might be. Okay, leg. See if we can get something bullish here. Leg. Nothing from Mac yet. A gap there. Gapped a bit there. Just looking at the NQ at the moment. Mac is done for posting this. Oh, is he? Right, okay. I did have my suspicions. We've come down to this line, so we've got a touch here, and a touch yesterday, and it's fitting perfectly there. Perfectly a few there. So that's, yeah. We got a leg up, 2 legs of correction. So I think some continuation. So, which is why I adjusted that. Yeah, how you doing, Kev? So touch. So I'm not taking that one because obviously I've adjusted this. So I'm waiting for the high low if we get one. I'm not just getting in on there because you don't know if you're going to get a leg and it's going to trigger you, and then we're going to come down. Yeah, if you took that one now, your arse would be twitching. In your case, I think it is paradise, isn't it? You're out on your boat today, are you? I can't afford a boat. I've got plans to build one. I want to say plans, I mean actual plans. And I've got plans for in Miami. Oh God, you make me sick. You make me sick. I've got plans to build a Glenelg Zip. It's an American design. Not yet. It's an American design. It's like based on a 1950s Italian sort of like motorboat. It's something I've always wanted to do, build about. I love building stuff out of wood. And this is something I've always wanted to do. I'll show you. Making some gas money. There we go, that's it there. That's what I've got plans for there. That boat there, I don't know what that is. That's for the full boat, I think. But that's basically it. Just something I've always wanted to do. There. I think it's just got some... I think the frame's made out of like a sort of more like a pine type wood, or maybe something a bit stronger, but these slats along the top are sort of, you know, made out of some nice exotic woods, but stunning looking little boat. But I think it's about 4 meters, the full length. But I love it. I bought some plans. My wife bought me some, because I said I always wanted to do it. I built a canoe years ago. And my wife bought me some plants. Yeah, they're nice looking thing. My wife bought me some plans. I've always wanted to do it. So I'm going to do that in the next few years. Mind you, I'm hoping to make enough money here that I can just buy one without building it. But I've always enjoyed building rather than buying. But yeah, it's just the outside, mainly the outsides. You know, from marine ply, you sort of build the frame or the gussets, whatever they're called, out of like it's almost like pine, but it's slightly. Is it Douglas fir or something, which is, it's got less nuts in it basically, and you build them, and then you sort of you have a frame that you sort of attach it to and all that, and then when you flip it over, the frame comes out and you build all the interior. But there's a bunch of guys on YouTube actually that have filmed the whole build, and it just, there's something about it, I think, building something from scratch, and then it just looks stunning. We could break this up, trend 2 legs down, yeah. Hold under the EMA. We could possibly get a short fade. Yeah. See, looking at this, the NQ still bullish, but it does look like we're having a break. So if we have a break here and then another push up, he has a narrower channel. A narrower channel than this. So does he have something like that? In fact, I think that's more like, isn't it? Actually, I think I prefer that. Yeah, I thought as much. I did try and adjust it, but it just doesn't fit very well. So, excuse me that. Yeah, touch. I did look at these, but it looks like a leg down to me. You don't know whether it's going to have 2 little pushes up and then come down and bounce off here. So we've got a channel up, clearly 1 leg down. So it'd be nice to come up to this, come down a bit more to about here, and then push up nice and strongly above the EMA. Then you'd expect to get up to these highs at least, wouldn't you? Excuse me. Okay, so there's the first push down. You can't really call that 2, can you? That's the first push. The first. Yeah, it's on the way down, isn't it? So maybe another one down to about here. It would be even better. Which you would call really just a second entry long, really, but on a bigger scale. I like the way it's come down and it's touched this. In fact, that channel on the NQ, I would draw that different now. I would do that as a spike and channel. That fits perfect there. So, spike and channel, touch, perfectly touched, perfect. A leg down, a little bit of sideways. So yeah, this is looking bullish still, nice and bullish, which I think is a good sign. Now, if you look at that, really, it looked quite different earlier, but we're in a nice channel here now, and we're in the same. So I think if this can come down a bit more and then give us like a lower high or a second attempt lower, I think that would be a great option to go along there. We are above the EMA now, but obviously we need something else. A higher low even would do the trick for me. Let's remove that in a minute. But it may just push up. Sometimes it does. Sometimes we don't get these opportunities. Excuse me just a second. Okay, so first attempt lower. We got a little channel here with a break, so that's a good sign. So if we can if we maybe trap some shorts now and then give us a nice strong bullish bar, that might be an option. Still got to be a bit careful though, because we got a leg down. Depending on how this finishes, we could get a break here. Now, I like the way it's closed on that line, so keep an eye on that, because if that comes rocketing down, I think there's a good chance this might. Let's get rid of that. So we got first attempt lower. What I'd like to see on the NQ is that bullish bar to push up nice and strong now above that possible short, and it's not moving very much. So just I'm concerned we're going to have a leg down here, have a break of this, which would mean a little bit further down there. So I like the way it is holding. But that bullish bar triggered and then got stopped out. So Armin asks, if that ends up bullish, would you take that, or would you want that to drop below? Would you want that to tick below that bar there, the bearish bar before you went long? Really, you'd want that to come down, tick below, and then push up strong above the EMA, wouldn't you? Which it may do, actually. So we clearly got that channel. We've had a break. Yeah, because you can't call that high or low really until it's done that, can you? Fell second entry short. Yeah, that's only a first at the moment. So if we can get a push up, maybe a higher low. See, that does look like it's just going to rocket up, but the trouble is there's no entry, is there? It's looking nice on there. I like the way it's likely going to push up above that bearish bar, so that's good. That's a good sign. So we want a little bit of a pullback or a higher low here, don't we? Can't just take that really, unfortunately. Because we could get a second entry short. It may come down a bit further, leg down, 2 attempts higher. Our second entry short above the EMA. See, there is a possibility also that we've got a leg down, 1 attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, down we come. 2 bigger legs before we push up. That's what would concern me. See, that channel looks valid to me. That looks like an uptrend. But there is a possibility that is a break and a new high. So we've now got a downtrend, 1 attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, come down, maybe retest this. So I'm a bit on the fence here. I've got mixed feelings whether that is a break or whether it's because it touches perfectly here, it touches perfectly here. So I'm a bit on the fence as what to do here. But what you could say is we've had that channel down and we've had a break in a new low, so usually I can just see it, but you know, once, twice, this could be a triple test to go short. I'm not thinking short at the moment. But the NQ is a bit up and down, isn't it? It's getting a little bit congested here, so it's hard to know. There is a possible second entry short. I don't know. If I'm not sure, I'll just stay out. Simple thing. And the daily may be looking a bit congested, a little bit sideways possibly, so that gives you mixed feelings as well. So we had that bullish bar, which triggered, came down and stopped it straight out. Now we've come up again with another bullish bar, slightly higher. It's triggered. Now it's on its way down. Whether it'll come down here or not, I don't know. But it's just looking congested all of a sudden. So we could have a leg down, a break. We could have channel down, and that looks kind of nice to me with a break. We may come down here and make another leg down here, in which case we'd have a break. So I've got mixed feelings about what's going to happen here. There is a failure there. Yeah, it is getting a bit like that, isn't it? It's getting a bit congested. There is a failure. If it gets above here, I'd say we'll probably push up. But it is congested, so you just got to be a bit careful. It's very tempting because it is a failure. You think there's probably going to be some stops there, but there is a possibility we've already had a break in a new high, so it may have a leg down, a couple of pushes up, and another leg down. So it could go either up or down here. And this is sort of giving similar picture. 1 minute it looks bullish, then it comes down. But we have come down to the EMA there, and we've turned and pushed up. So I would say it's more likely to go up. But this is the area where you've got to be careful, because it really can chop you up here. 1 minute it looks bullish, and then it can just turn. See, if we have had a break and a new high, we could come down. This might do this a couple of times, and then down we come strongly. This is starting to look a bit dicey as well. So we got two charts looking about the same. Risky. Could do either or. Could carry on. Sometimes it just does continue what you think it's going to do and rock it up. But other times it stings you. But especially when it goes sideways like this, it just makes it way more risky, because there's going to be longs in there, no doubt about it. We had this break new low. People may buy down here if this triggers. Yeah, it's a bit. I'd much prefer another bearish bar there, which is triggered. In which case, if it does break above there, I would expect a push. But it does look like it's going to go. But when it's sideways, dodgy. So that's triggered now. Let's see what happens. So tempting just to jump in here, but I've done it before and it goes woof. There'll be people who buy that. I wouldn't be shocked if that comes down and takes that out. I hope it'll continue up. I just don't know though. It's a bit sideways on the NQ as well, so this could be a trap. Let's have a look. I mean, it does look like it's going, but I've been trapped so many times in doing this, and when it looks like this, usually the best order of the day is just to stay out of it and let it go. I think it's going up, but that's about as good as I've got thinking it. And there's no setups there for us, really. The only encouraging thing is that bar's triggered. So it's probably going to trap a few shorts here. Just too risky to trade that. Now, if I was on an evaluation, would I trade that? Absolutely. Because I think it's more likely to go up, but I'm not prepared to do it with real money. It's too choppy for a penguin trade, isn't it? That bit's okay, but then we sort of go sideways before we go up, so there's no trade really, is there? Okay, let's get that out of the way. Still not sure about that. Might be nice to come down and test this before we push up, which it looks like we are doing. That may trap some shorts there. Too far for the EMA to go long there. Way too far. Yeah, you take it easy, bud. Have a good weekend, mate. This could come down pretty quick. There'll be some longs in there, probably some longs in here. I wouldn't be surprised. And part of the reason I say that is because we're at the top of this channel in the NQ. And if this comes down quickly, it could bring this down. Getting towards the tops here, there's not much to go before we run out of room. So I don't like it when it's slowly struggling to get up. I can't see there being a lot of stops there to eat through. When it's doing this really slowly, sometimes it'll just try, and all of a sudden down it'll come quickly. And this looks like one of these types of areas that will. I'd say neither of those two are safe, personally. Maybe a right here. And this looks like it's going to come down quite quick. It's really struggling to get up. I certainly wouldn't like to be in that trade, or that one. Okay, so I can see those two getting stopped out. I think if you got in here, maybe a second entry or a failure, you may be right. But I think this needs a bit of a flush before it carries on. If indeed it just, those bars all look a bit weak to me. They're a bit far away from the key entry point and the EMA. This, I don't know. I just can't see buyers wanting to get in here. I certainly wouldn't want to. Mm. Okay, it's time. Okay, where's the stops? Under there, there'll be some there, I dare say. There we go. And that to happen at some point. I've been in trades like that before, where I take it there, and it's slow and slow and slow and slow, and all of a sudden it comes flushing down. So you can spot these patterns where it just really starts to struggle, and it starts to look weak, and it goes out a bit more and sucks more. People thinking, here we go, and all of a sudden, wham, it comes down. I didn't think it would take that long, to be fair. So if you're taking that one, you're taking that one. That, I thought you'd be safe. It is a failure in a second entry long. I can still expect it to come up. But we shall see. Maybe it's going to come down the bottom here. The trouble is, it gets so close to doing that, but you just... as these bars are starting to sort of print sideways, I'm thinking this is going to come flushing down. Because I've been in trades like this before thinking, as soon as we get above here, we're going to have a quick pop and I'll get me points. And all of a sudden, down it comes. And I've been in them so many times. Okay, are you safe? You are by one tick. Second entry long, a failure. Actually, if you're going to take a trade up there, that's probably with the exception of that. I mean, it's going into resistance anyway, but you can pretty much see what's going on, can't you? It's probably about the safest one there, I think, because we touch, that confirmed. And often when it does come down, it doesn't hit that stop. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it stays intact. It'd be interesting to see whether we do push up higher or whether we continue down. So we've got a leg up, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower. This may be the penguin trade. Let me just open the Discord, see if anybody's looking at this area to go long. So we've got a leg up, we've got a channel up, maybe one attempt to go lower, lower, second attempt to go lower, failure, push up, 1, 2, and then up for another leg, which would take us up to the top here. Where's the Discord? There we go. Excuse me a sec. I've just taken a sniping tool. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've just been corrected. Yeah. We've had a break. One attempt to go higher, second attempt. So I thought it was the other round. One attempt lower, second attempt lower. I don't know. Okay. I think I'm going to knock it on the head for the day. I'm up 3 points. The last thing I want to do is get stuck in a penguin. I don't trade penguin enough, really, to... I thought we got a leg up. One attempt to go low, second attempt to go low, one attempt to go low, and then up. And part of the reason I'm looking at it as well, because it's looking... Obviously, we clearly got an uptrend on here, and we've had a leg down, bit of a sideways, and another leg down. So if it bounces off here and pushes higher on the NQ, then I think it's likely for have a great weekend. Yeah, you too, bud. No worries, mate. Leg down, yeah. Just gonna sit tight a second. Nah, let's leave it. Last thing I want to do is I'm up $300 for the day, so that's nice. So that's it. Yeah, don't do it. No, I'm gonna. So let's just save that. I'll ditch it straight away. So it's the 15th, 12th. That is yes. Excellent. So that's it for the day and the week, folks. Another week. So we've got 1 week left now before Christmas. I'm guessing come mid next week it's going to start quieting down a bit, but we'll see how we get on anyway. So I think Monday to Wednesday will be good, but then I can see it feathering out. But we'll play it by ear. So I appreciate all your comments. I hope you've had a green day. Nice and green for me. So I'm just saving my images. Nice and green for me. 15th, 12th, 23. That is NQ. Yeah, all good. So have a great weekend. I hope you've had a good green day. I appreciate all your comments. Another week is done. So we do it all again Monday. So have a great weekend. Appreciate all the comments. Stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.